Camera lens versus paperclip. Which one is more useful on a film set? And do you even need a giant metal paperclip at all? Today, we're gonna find out as we do, that's right, a gear tier list, a tier list. A gear tier list. Yup. Hey you, I'm Merrick, and longtime viewers may notice our setup looks a little bit different now. That's because I've moved, and hopefully that means videos will be a little bit more consistent looking at the very least, if not more frequent too. If you don't know me, I'm the director, writer, actor, and some other fun things behind our upcoming feature film for Bite Afternoon Productions called The Complex. And today, we're gonna be jumping into an interview that we did with Kody Murphy, our cinematographer for that movie, as we go through the most important gear that we had on set for The Complex and rank it from worst to best, talking about what is even important, what is necessary, what do you need. In our last video, we talked a lot about what the actual list of gear that we thought was the most important. And in this one, we're gonna be ranking those from start to finish. So last time we talked about the specifics, like, okay, which ones do we actually think are important versus which ones we didn't actually think were that important. And in this one, we're gonna be talking about best of the best. If you're just picking one piece of gear, what one do you actually need? Do you need a giant paper clip? Do you need a cork board? Do you need a lava lamp? Maybe, depends on the film. But you're probably gonna need a lens. We certainly did on this film, and that's the first thing that we talk about. I'm gonna throw it over to them so they can pick up there. But stay tuned for some additional updates about The Complex after this, if you stick around to the end of the video. All right, over to you, Merrick and Kody.
Do you want to give me what was your whole list front to back?
My full list?
Yeah. And then I'll go through mine, and we can talk about each of the things afterwards.
So I did have the external display.
It's good.
I did have the massive battery pack, the like camping size power bank that we used, that I just had clipped to my waist the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
And I did have cage and handle separated. I don't know why I made handle its own thing, but
hey, honestly, that little handle on top.
The rig, just having a rig on your camera body is so much more like important than I thought it was gonna be.
And just being able to kind of like grab it and swing it around.
Yeah, you just got like go gadget like camera stuff going on. And it was awesome.
It's good.
And then obviously the lens, having like a really interesting lens. Like if you went out there with like a 15 to 55 like kit lens, like a Rebel kit lens, I'm not gonna say the movie would be like terrible, but it would be so much less interesting because I just think it's an important, aspect of it is what we chose. So.
Yeah, I think you're really right. I remember like we had conversations about between two lenses that we were looking at, but for me it was always between those two lenses. Like when I was writing it, it was like, this is one option that we have, this is the other option. It's one of those two, and they were, no spoilers, but radically different looking lenses. The first look imagery is out now, so I'm sure people can see at least a little bit of it, but it was a radically different thing. Like we would have been shooting in a different aspect ratio and everything. So if you had to rank those in order of like most important to least important, how would you rank them? Just on the fly. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but what would you rank them?
Obviously, a lens goes at the top. I kind of feel like it's a little bit cheating on a list because like you can't really film without it. So.
It's hard not to.
It's hard not to.
We'll have that as the gimme. The rest of them can be a real ranking.
The gimme. Honestly, after that, I might go with the battery pack because
very crucial. Very crucial.
So for context, we had an external power supply coming out of the camera, and we were just kind of like wired into the camera, so we had hours of charge, right? Instead of your little like DSLR batteries that last how long? 35, 40 minutes sometimes for these film cameras.
Sorry, the not to cut you off, I was just gonna those specific batteries too, when you're filming open gate on the GH5, it chews through them even faster because your bit rate and everything. Like and the data rate that we had on those cards was so high we had to get these, you know, insane SD cards for it.
Yeah, we put the camera body through some genuine work. It was probably screaming. I mean, it was a little bit of a, you know, contraption that we put together, but I mean, we had this essentially this giant battery bank, and I just clipped it to my hip, and we wired it up, and it let us run mobile pretty much the entire day. I could just run around with the camera, which was great.
I love that setup. Like,
let's combine. Let's do the cage and the handle all together. Let's just call it like the rig, right, around the camera.
I like it.
So for the camera body, we have this almost like tactical rails that like can kind of go around the camera, and you can add I guess you could call it cold shoe. I mean, I don't know the technical term, but you can attach any kind of attachments that you want to do. So we had a handle on top. You know, we had our plate on the bottom for the tripod that we could, you know, slot into, you know, and just be on the go. You know, we also had an external monitor mounted to it too. So you can kind of build out this rig that works for whatever shoot you're doing, and it really just, like I said earlier, go gadget camera. Like you just build what you need instead of just running around with like a naked camera body, and it works so well. Even the handle, getting some handles, like some shots, like hanging shots with a handle, it's just, they turned out really good.
I'm very glad that you did that. I remember that was one of those things where I was just like, I'm gonna throw this to you as far as like what you need to have this. Like there were other like with the lens and stuff where I was like, ultimately I'm gonna make the call on this.
Right,
but, there was a few things where I was like, whatever Kody wants and is good for Kody,
and I'm the external display.
Yes.
So
lay it on me.
For context, I don't really have a good diagram anywhere. Is this mail that doesn't give anything away? So it was about this size.
I know honestly. Where you live.
Yeah,
I know
where I live
now. You live in
so the
Ripple
camera
Fiber.
Would be right here, and we had an external display on top of it, so you don't have the little tiny flip out 1-inch display right there. Exactly. Yep. And so having this display let me see what was happening a lot clearer. The zebra striping was something I didn't realize that I needed until I had it. And it really saved our ass a couple times. So to explain what zebra striping is it's kind of visual indicators on the display that show you where the focus is at. So it'll be like, okay, if it's on Merrick's nose, it's going to show a little bit of like some yellow stripes there.
Yeah.
Anyway, zebra striping.
Yeah, that's very crucial, very important.
Anyway, the display was incredibly crucial. Being able to like flip it around and just show Merrick really quickly, because he's also the director. Hey, does this look good? And he goes, yep. And then he gets into character. So would not have been able to do the movie, I genuinely don't think, without it.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we had that. Came super in handy. Highly recommend that for any like smaller production. It might seem like a high upfront cost. There are ones that you can find that are relatively cheap, but don't worry about the resolution. It's like it sounds kind of silly because it's the reverse of what you normally apply to like a monitor that you're using for something like on editing or whatever. It's kind of the reverse. Get the biggest one you can for the like lowest resolution. It doesn't matter. The size is really very crucial. That being said, do you want to hear my gear list?
I do. I want to hear your rankings.
And I will give it to you in order as well. So number one, the lens. We already talked enough about that.
We talked about
skip over it. You made the right call picking that as number one. Number two, follow focus. I felt like it's not always something I have the luxury of, but just like the speed at which we were able to do things and the like ease of which we were able to do things, of just being like, hey, can we do a rack focus like this? Can we, do this thing? And we never had to worry about like, I mean, it came off the camera a few times or whatever, but we never had to worry about like, is Kody's finger going to be in the shot?
In the shot,
like, are we going to
100% agree?
Are we going to be able to make that whole focus before we have to like readjust our hand and do the crab claw, and, and then it bumps the camera or something? It was like never an issue in that way. And it's just it's one of those things where it just really smoothed over all of like the normally infuriating things about that part of filmmaking and allowed you to like kind of or allowed us to get just more creative and do more stuff. But yeah. And then up next, number 3, but really number 2 if we're not counting the lens, I had Pinky, that light.
Yes.
Because man, it like it, you know, in the first look imagery that we did release recently, Dread Central, shout out, you guys rock, thank you so much. It's during the daytime, right? Like, so we actually use a lot of natural light on this movie, as Kody can attest to. But there were these moments where either we're shooting a scene, the scene is dark, or we need a fill light or something, and the level of control that light gave us was so nice. It's so nice. It had those preset effects in it. It had all of those things. The light output was like quite high for how small it is. It's like 400 lumens. You know, just it allows you that flexibility, and the fact that you can kind of just like fucking tape it to a light or tape it to the ceiling or whatever. It has a magnet on the back, so like right now it is literally like it's mounted to my I have it on the speaker grill of my piano that's upright like this, like my digital piano from when I was a kid. I have it just slapped to the speaker grill magnetically, so it's not on a like tripod or anything. I just have it there, and it's lighting me from the side really nicely. This light isn't doing shit. The one that you can see in the frame, that's not doing anything. It's all Pinky, and it's at 25%. Great light, Amaranth,
incredible product.
Yeah, it truly, I can't say enough good things about it. Also, it comes with a little mounting quick release plate that is kind of nice. We didn't end up using that for the movie, but it's a nice little add-on thing that it comes with. Yeah, so and then after that, close second was those Govee bulbs.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say about those? I mean, really, any like smart bulbs like this it's gonna get you a similar effect. But the Govee ones are pretty good price, and light output and quality of light, you know. But there were, I mean, I remember when we first were shooting, we weren't sure how much power we were going to be able to have on the floor that we were shooting on. Some behind the scenes inside baseball stuff. So, you know, we didn't know, like, what are the light fixtures going to work? And thankfully, we were able to get enough power on the floor that we were shooting on, just enough, just a little bit, not really that much, because none of the outlets really worked for us for the most part. But we were able to get enough power up there to where a lot of the light fixtures did work.
Big shout out to Govee.
Yeah, big shout out to Govee. And then I had Spider Dolly at number 5. I had Spider Dolly at number 5.
That was a good one.
Spider Dolly, very important. I think having that was like really, really helpful, really cool. If I had to go back, I'd probably put battery pack somewhere in there. I'd probably put one that I forgot, actually, until we started having this conversation. The Promist filter.
You mean the thing we use the entire film?
We use that on about 95% of the shots in the movie, and it is an unsung hero. It is responsible for, no offense to Kody or myself, at least 20 to 30% of the look of the movie, right? Like, I mean, it's a big contributing factor. And you know, the real thing, the real mark of professionalism is that Kody and I knew when to use it or not.
That's true.
Which there were certain shots where Kody was like, "It doesn't really work for this. You know, it's not happening." And I was like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "The room is filled with fog. It's doing the same thing.
It's just obscuring too much."
Yeah, it's just too much." So that was a great piece of kit that we used for the movie. Super worth its weight in gold, honestly, because it doesn't weigh very much. And it's a piece of gear that people probably don't even notice until you point it out. But then when you see it, you're like, oh, I understand what it's doing. It's, you know, it softens, it gives a little bit of halo to things. It's very, very pretty, and there's a reason every YouTube filmmaker makes videos about it, right? Yes, yeah. So. It's all the things that people say about it, that people love about it. It's like the Grand Canyon where you want to be like a cynic, and then you go there and you start crying, and it's like it's as good as everyone says it is. Like,
there's a reason that it's like a joke that everybody uses it all the time. So, they're awesome.
Cody, is there anything else you want to shout out in general before we throw it back? Any pieces of advice you want to give the fellow cinematographers out there?
Just go out and shoot stuff. pretty much it. I mean, like that's the advice everyone's gonna tell you. So if you you're like, oh, I want to go take photos or I want to go do video, but I live in a boring area. So do I. Just go take pictures of trees. You'll make something good.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah. And plus, dead malls and stuff, the boring stuff, and suburban life. Those are some of the coolest horror inspirations or just strange things that you can do.
Exactly. Some of my favorite photographers are literally just people taking pictures of like factory buildings, but they do it in a fun way, and you're like, wow, So just go out there and do stuff, Just go have fun.
I love it.
Go have fun. Yeah.
Truly the best advice. All right, Merrick, we're gonna throw it back to you, presumably. If I
throwing it back to Merrick.
Throwing it back to myself. Catch you on the smell.
Oh, I'm live. Thanks, Merrick and Kody. Our weather report is that The Complex, our feature film, horror, scary, be scared, is coming along very well. We are thick into the process, or I should say in the thick of the process, rather. We are working day and night trying to get this thing over the finish line. Movies take time, and they're kind of difficult to do. We filmed in last October, if you're not familiar, and we have been chugging away ever so slowly in the background, but working as diligently as we can as a team of about 6 people. Right now, we are in kind of a dual phase for those of you who are seeking updates. We are adding in things like music and sound effects and Foley work rather. And as I'm the editor as well, I don't know if everybody knows this or I've mentioned this, I'm also the editor on this we that's part of why, we don't have a big team of editors or something like that. It's really just me. So right now we're kind of in the phase of approaching what I would call a kind of work print stage. That's my next goal, is to have kind of a work print. And that work print is sort of where you're at the phase of pre-picture lock. This is like the kind of last phase between an assembly cut and getting into the process where you start really adding in things like color grading and VFX and all of those things, which take a lot of time into themselves. But we're kind of in that phase of like putting in any pickup shots, any inserts, things like that we might need, and then adding in sort of out of character for how people typically do edits and stuff like this. But we're adding in music. Music is a very strong core component to this. And in fact, if you look around closely, you actually might find something that could lead you to a sneak peek about some of that music. But I won't spoil it. Additionally, since our last update, we of course dropped our trailer, which is pretty cool, our teaser trailer rather. We got some lovely comments on that. We got some really funny comments on that about my long hair making me look like certain celebrities and things like that, which I always am here for. They were great comparisons. They're ones that I take very highly because I respect the people that they were comparing me to. But again, you'll have to dig into that on your own as well. So some wonderful comments on our teaser trailer. If you haven't checked that out yet, you should really go ahead and check it out. That's probably the biggest update that we've had in a minute. In between these two update videos, we've had a huge update, which is that we released a teaser trailer, and hopefully more to come on that soon. Hoping to, again, I really want to focus on putting as much energy as possible into actually finishing the movie, as opposed to, making it look like we're working on the movie type of thing, right? So when you make a trailer, you're kind of taking time away from actually editing the movie to make the trailer. So I want to spend as much time as I can actually finishing the movie and things like that. And we have some incredible, incredible music. People are gonna be blown away, honestly, I think, by the score of this movie as much as I am. It's really great stuff. I think, man, I'm really excited for people to hear it. Of course, I don't want to spoil it too much, but that's kind of everything in the way of updates for this video. And hopefully you enjoyed our conversation with Kody Murphy. If you stuck around this long, thank you so much. And still going for the time being, but very limited at this point, is if you donate over 50 bucks up until a certain point in the process, which we will let you know, of course, and stop doing it on the website. But if you donate 50 bucks to the movie or more, you get your name in the credits, or a name of an organization or something like that. I would say nonprofits, name for your cat, things like that. If you're talking a business with 500 employees, maybe we can talk about that separately. But if you do that, It helps really support us through this process. Post-production, a lot of people don't realize, does come with its own set of costs and things like that, as well as post-production, you know, film festivals, release schedule, all of that stuff. It all adds up, and the people who made this movie possible, thank you so much. Whether you donated, whether you shared posts and videos and things that we put out before, or even just liked our trailer, even just watch the trailer, watch this video, it means the world to me. And of course, as always, to our wonderful crew, Kody, Emma, Isaac, Kane, Merrick, thank you so much for making this possible. We couldn't have done it without you. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. And remember, stay hydrated.
Oh, that's a
Merrick, if you go